Brett Okamoto with UFC welterweight Kamaru Usman, who challenges Tyron Woodley for the welterweight championship at UFC 235 this Saturday in Las Vegas. And Kamaru, the star of Embedded so far, I believe, was your daughter, going out, getting a dress, going dress shopping, fight night shopping. Why did you decide, or was it a hard decision, to let her come to this championship fight?
Yes, it was tough because I'm very protective of my daughter. And I make sure that just with what I've seen through life and the way that I was raised and the different examples that I've had and just the classes and the courses that I've taken, I'm particular with what I expose to my daughter at certain stages, at certain times. I want her to be a kid, have an amazing childhood, but also know that this is what's coming up. This is how I do this is how I do that. And so I broke her in slowly. And she's been coming to the gym with me ever since she was 6 months old. I'd put her in her car seat, and she would sit there and watch me train for 2 hours and be okay with it. So over the years, she got accustomed to seeing me scrap, or fight, or train. And then, of course, she watches my fights on TV. And then last year, I believe last year or maybe a year and a half ago, I took her to a first event live. We went to UFC Orlando, and I couldn't believe how much fun she had. She loved it. She was up the whole night, up on her seat, screaming, Brazil, Brazil, even though she's mixed. So it kind of, let me know that she's ready for this now. And plus, she tells all her friends at school. She's in pre-kindergarten. She tells all her friends at school what I do, so they all know what I do.
Well, it's interesting to me because it seems like potentially a risky move that you haven't had her at any of your fights, and now you're in the biggest fight of your life, and there's a new variable. There's that feeling of my daughter's in the crowd. Is there any consideration to that?
No, not in that sense, because I'm one of those guys to where I'm a businessman. Like I can get serious, and she knows that at home because Daddy, when she's maybe misbehaving, all Daddy has to do is give her a look, and she knows, oh man, I'm not doing something right, and so. I'm when it's time for me to go to work, I go to work. I leave that emotional stuff, I leave it on the side. And that's one thing that I'm thankful for, that I have a daughter, is because she mellowed me out to where I was so straight arrow and focused the whole time. Now I am able to smile more and laugh more and play more. But when I go on a trip, I go on a trip. I would see them after I weigh in and after the fight. There's no, okay, you guys, we're going to play around in my room before I go to this fight and things like that. No, because emotionally I get to a certain state and a certain point of readiness to where I don't need anything to shake that or disturb that.
I remember talking to you years ago, and there was just frustration that I can't get anybody to fight me. Guys are ducking me. I don't feel like I'm on a path to anywhere. Can you talk about those times and how it feels to be sitting there in that chair knowing you're fighting for a title on Saturday?
Yeah, those times are you go through certain situations in life that kind of it's grinding you, it's getting you ready, it's chipping you away, and it's forging you into the person you're going to be. And I remember those ups and downs to where I would honestly, I was depressed a couple of times. Like, why do I still doing this? Why am I putting my body through this if I don't see myself climbing this mountain that I've been working to climb? And so, yeah, I was depressed a little bit, but they say time is the best. When God says it's your time, it's your time. And right now, I think he's smiling on me saying that, see, I told you to be patient. Now it's your time.
Is there any chance we see some pre-fight fireworks between you and Tyron? You guys had one of the best exchanges at a press conference, I think, ever. Not just that press conference, but in any of them, verbally. Is there still some of that to come, or is that time over?
I think it is over because you can't run from it now. The fight's here. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, I'm going to beat your ass on March 2nd on Saturday night. So, no, I think we have mutual respect for each other. I think he'll be respectful, but I don't really care what he does. That doesn't change what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to be in there. I'm focused, I'm ready, and I can't wait for Saturday night.
Do you think Tyron has made any mistakes as a UFC champion? And how do you think you'll be different than him when you are a UFC champion?
You never really know until you're in that situation. I think once he got in that seat, he was doing certain things that might have not worked out so well. So I think he realizes that now. For me, I'm one of those guys to where if you do have the experience for me and you're willing to give me that blueprint, as Sugar Rashad Evans has done, then it makes the ability for me to fail a lot less.
How do you get it done on Saturday?
I think I stop him in the later rounds. I think I'm going to test his heart. I'm going to push him, and then I'm going to stop him in the later rounds.
Looking forward to it, man. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.